Hi everyone, I am back. I am inviting founder Polley Wong. Polley, where are you? I don't see anybody yet. Polley. Okay. Right. All right, sorry guys, just getting prepared. We are doing the Unicorn Startup Club interview series, and today I will be interviewing Polley Wong of VIU.SPACE. We're just waiting for her to join. Polley, I see you. Bring them in camera. Add. Technology. All right, just give it a second. She is joining. If you are watching this for the first time, I did another video today and I basically gave some tips on how I went about getting customers without dropping a single dime on ads or advertising or marketing. I did it completely organically, and you know, I go through all of the details on how I did it. So if you want to watch that, go back to my timeline and you'll be able to see that. Polley, I see you again. I'm going to try to add you. Cool. I think it's adding right now. Should be working. Anyways, I started doing the Unicorn Startup Club because I am just so passionate about startups, and I really like working on creative solutions for all sorts of different problems. Every startup has its own unique problem. They can, you know, they can target different audiences. They might, Polley, it says I can't bring you on. Shoot, it worked earlier. Can you message me and let me know what's going on? So anyways, yeah, I started the Unicorn Startup Club because I'm just passionate about startups, and I've been working exclusively with startups for about 10 years when I ran my own consulting agency, Maui Media, and I learned so much working in different verticals and with different clients at different phases, different levels of funding. And, you know, I learned that there is not a one-size-fits-all solution. So whether you're starting off small, or it's just you, or you have a really big team and you don't know where to start, like we all follow the same process, but it says I'm in, but only in watch mode. Let's see, Polley, it says I can't, oh, there it is. Approve, got it. But anyway, so I love startups and I love connecting with other founders, CEOs, executives, and you never know like what their challenge is and how you can help them. But that's what, Polley, it says you declined me. I'm going to do this again. Sent. Hey, Renette. Polley. I can't. Ooh, this ain't good. We should have tested this earlier. Polley, can you check again and see if there's something? But hi, everybody. I am actually really loving these Facebook Live events. I had no idea about the power of Facebook Live. I mean, if you can imagine, everybody's on Facebook all the time, and we're always like looking for information and we're looking for content, for amusement. But what if you could combine the two, and this is really fun and you get to learn as well and see what your goofy friends are up to. So this is what I'm up to. All right, Polley, I see you there again. I'm gonna approve. Let's, third time's charm. Adding. Alrighty. It's connecting. I think we're getting closer. Ooh, hi.
Yay. Hi.
Okay,
Hi,
everyone. I can't hear you now. Do you have a headset or something plugged in? Because I cannot hear you.
Let's see. 1 second.
Well, there's always a first for everything.
Okay.
No, I can't hear you. Hi, Max.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can
Oh, okay.
everybody else watching, can you hear us? If so, can you please type, yes, we can hear you. Okay. I see that I can't say your name, but you gave a thumbs up. Oh, I'm gonna mess this up so bad. Heim gave a thumbs up. Did I say it right?
Okay,
Can you
awesome.
let me know? All right, Polley, how's it going?
It's going well. It's a little hectic today.
Okay,
Yeah, we
no
were.
worries.
Yeah.
Polley, can you turn it up a little bit because
The
we're having
glare.
a hard time hearing you. Maybe I'll turn up my volume too. That might
Okay.
help. Okay, cool.
How
All
about
right.
that? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
Thank you for the invite.
Of course.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that we finally figured this out. So this is my first Facebook Live interview, and I believe it might be your first one as well. So
Yes, it is.
okay, well, great. We figured it out, and here we are. Hey, Max. No, I'm not driving. I'm in an office. Polley, I don't think you're driving, but you are in your car.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. All righty.
That's a hustler's life.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This is our first of the Unicorn Startup Series interview. And today I'd like to introduce you Polley Wong. Polley Wong is the founder of VIU.SPACE, and they recently launched a new product called JITA.io. And I was just really interested and fascinated by Polley. I don't know how I randomly added you on Facebook, but then I saw all the cool things that you were posting, and I'm like, that is my girl. So I also
Thank
asked
you.
you to join me as an admin in the Unicorn Startup Club.
Yes.
2 days ago.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyways, this is our first time talking, and I would really love to hear about your background and your story and how you came up with VIU.SPACE and what is JITA. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. I would really, I'm really grateful for the opportunity to even share the story. I think it's rare to see women in business in general to start their own business. It's rare, even rarer for us to connect. And so I really, really appreciate this opportunity to sort of connect with your audience. It started I started out as a computer engineer while in undergrad. And then I realized that I really had a desire and passion to connect with the mentality of what makes a home home. And so this goes on to the you could go on a super psychological route. It's basically the sense of belonging, or you could go to a very technical route, which is the route that I chose. So I thought that, okay, I'm going to learn the art and science of making a home. So I thought interior design is the way to go. So I went for an interior design graduate program. And in the process of studying, and I realized that there was a huge, I think coming from technology, interior design, or interior design in itself is somewhat of a slower industry in innovation. So, and in every sense of the communication chain between professionals. And this goes from gathering information from the client to communicating with architects, communicating with contractors. And so I found a hole with that is highly not transparent and also not efficient. So then at school I start thinking that I need to do something. I don't know what to do yet, but I needed to do something. So I started a company, starting taking on clients, slowly understanding what is a conventional process of doing design, and making it, a complete work of art. And then also, what can I bring in from the computer world in process, namely agile development, namely lead methodologies, and I realized that there's a huge potential here. So eventually, it became the root of this new child that we have, JITA. So JITA is an acronym for just-in-time architecture.
Okay.
What we want to do is highly reduce the cost of communication, as well as highly reduce the time of communication as well, so that we could provide just in time. But people could basically purchase design services in an a la carte type of way, and which is so this idea started about 3 years ago, slowly merged into an actual product with some basic tools that we're starting to provide not just our own design practices firm, but also help other designers and other architects do their work. So I think if you think about it, if we actually have a very transparent communication system, then technically the client, whether it's a designer or a homeowner, they should be able to get what they want when they want it and only what they want.
Right.
But currently, there's a few different aspects that are basically bottlenecks. One is a lot of homeowners don't know what the real process is in terms of building your house or renovating a room. So they are forced to make a decision on signing a contract with a designer and architect that you don't fully know and you've never worked with.
Okay.
And you don't know, right. It's like a huge contract. And it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. What we've decided to do is completely change route, remove the concept of a contract, and break everything down into actionable tasks so that they, while they are still paying by time unit, say an hour or a daily rate, but they could cancel at any time and they will get everything that they purchased, say the file, the design, all of that will not be held hostage by designers, which is mostly what happens nowadays, and even for contractors. And the second thing that we were able to do is because everything is so transparent, they could then take these produce, basically, whether it's a floor plan or a 3D model, or even just consultation, and even budgets, and then go to anywhere that they would like. So that gives the power back to the homeowner or whoever the project owner is supposed to be.
Right.
The other thing is, right. And then the other thing that we do is, or that we're in the process of doing, is that we're collecting a lot of public information, public data, to have regional by zip code price points that allows project owners to be able to roughly budget out what they need, and so they're now able to choose to allocate their resources at this time, because we also produce an actionable list for them to follow.
Yeah. So do you mean, Chaim had asked the question, is it like a Kanban board? So I'm looking at your website right now and you have, and I know it's a closed beta, but you have an app and then you have a dashboard. And to me, it makes sense because it's kind of like a project management tool, but for the home interior design process. So when
it's very similar.
Yeah. So when you were talking about pricing, do you mean materials, furniture, or contractors?
All of the above. So what we were able to do, I like that sound. So what we were able to do is there's actually a lot of public data that is, needs sorting and organizing, but that we could pull in. It's like what Zillow did in the early days, where they pull in all these public data and then, put it out in a graph that is understandable, easy to make, reasonable decisions. But I think where we sort of locate is in between a customer or client management system, CRM, relationship management system, and a project management system. So it's in between this layer where we call it a design management software or a cloud, application. So this whole design layer is actually has historically been very mysterious and very magical in a good way, I guess, hopefully. But it also, there's some overhead that because of this magical aspect of it, it's very hard to, first of all, it's very hard to track. Okay. It's very hard to track what the process of a design goes. It's like magic. And then second of all, it's very hard to measure, therefore. Right. And then third of all, it's very hard to price. And so you see a lot of overhead that unfortunately has been laid on the end consumer. So what we want to do, and I do think that this is disruptive to the current industry, but hopefully it'll eventually even out to be, a force of good, is that we bring all the price and all the tools, obviously cheaper in scale and much more reliable because we name our sources. You know where this is coming from, and it's not just by someone's word or reputation, which is sort of also sort of obscure. And hopefully by then people will be able to, just get, okay, if I want a floor plan and nothing else, don't sell me like $200,000 of furniture. Or right. If I want to, and there's definitely a market for ultra high-end design surface. I do believe that there's a need for that, but there's also a huge need that has not been met yet of the mid and lower range where we want design to be accessible by everyone. We want to bring people into the design process instead of safeguarding it for right. designers and architects themselves. And, I do believe that a collaborative design process will bring out a better design product.
Yeah. So it sounds like to me, first and foremost, like you are adding so much value to the homeowner or the project owner by giving them the tools to be able to break down exactly what it is they need. And then you're also providing transparency because now they can compare market industry rates and then also get social validation too. I think traditionally in the real estate industry, especially when it comes to interior design, people don't know what to do. You have some interior designers that are 10 times more than the average person, and you wonder why, right? I mean, maybe it's because they come with that brand name, or maybe it's because they can recommend more expensive quality furniture. But there's no measuring chart or place to be able to do that. So yeah, I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think the ultimate goal is to giving people back their power. What we want to do is be able to slowly understand the actual design process. Once we understand it, and we need like measurable terms, like how you're able to budget money. You should be able to budget design processes and make sure that the higher priority in your mind as a project owner, make sure that that gets executed first. And that's why we want to, that's why I think eliminating the contract concept will serve to that, because now they're forced to, whoever that's working on the project is forced to, and yes, you're right, it is like a Kanban, that we're bringing Scrum into interior design without forcing them to learn about Scrum. And then we're we're also bringing agile, development and extreme programming into it without telling them that that's what it is. So therefore, that's we make sure that we build what they want and not what they don't want, and we make sure that they control the story stack, and they're able to prioritize what they want. And you know, whoever that's doing the job needs to follow those priorities in
Right.
order to get paid. Yeah,
Yes,
but they do get
absolutely.
paid. Yeah.
Do you manage payment through the platform?
Right now we don't. We do that manually, but we want to incorporate that. Payment for whoever that is working on the project is very, very important. We want to be able to create also a very transparent workforce that is able to just provide high quality work without, word of mouth. I think word of mouth has a romantic aspect to it, but it's also like, I'm not sure. And so we're also limiting the risk on the homeowner again by these hiring decisions. And if it is not good, which thankfully has not happened yet, if the quality isn't that good, you're not forced to complete a whole project.
Right.
And then with this person. And we also believe that 80% of the value is in 20% of the job, work. So oftentimes the homeowner realizes that, oh, this is what I need. I don't need anything more. Just give me what I have. Or you don't even have to ask to give me what I have because all of the files are accessible for them. So, then they stop the project and they get what they want, 100% satisfaction.
Yeah.
We've currently tested out with our design clients, and they've been 100% satisfied, which
Wow.
hopefully will keep that record.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
We need it
amazing.
ourselves. We're like,
Yeah. So, how long, so I have questions about your technology. I come from a tech background, so I also want to know, did you build this yourself? Did you, like, how did
right now,
you dream all this up?
excuse me, dreaming was easy. I just wrote a diary. Um, the actual building part was, in the beginning, we did try to build our own thing. But halfway through, I wouldn't say even halfway through, just like a couple months in, we already knew that, okay, we need to quickly sort of lower our expectation and create an MVP first. So we quickly just scrapped that or just halt that, and then we went to a WordPress. And surprisingly, yes. So WordPress already have sort of membership, subscription,
Yeah.
all those good marketing stuff. Well, not marketing, store stuff set in, and it also has an easier. If we want to build billing abilities, that's also easier to get in. At current stage, we're testing out with our own clients. We're finding more designers and architects to join our focus group. And then we're also demonstrating what we have right now to investors so that, I think getting the idea across and proving that, yes, this does bring value to customers,
Right.
whether it's designers or homeowners, they're willing to pay for it.
Right.
That's what we want to prove. And then we also want to gather some data that I guess, what is the market actually like? What should we focus on first? Is it an enterprise B2B project? Is it a B2C product? Which one does it make sense more?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. That's exciting. I mean, I think what's unique about where you currently are is that you have an MVP with customers. And these aren't customers that you acquired directly from JITA, but,
Mm-hmm.
they're actually using your product. So that's validation. I think the next step is to figure out whether people outside of your network are willing to use it.
Yes.
Very, very
Yes.
exciting.
Thank you. Developing the language, I find it's maybe under valued. I think developing the language is first and foremost because you want to explain your product to people that have absolutely no idea of what you do.
Yeah.
And they don't even understand what goes on in interior design or architecture projects. So that took a little while. Now we're at a place where we could explain our product better, know how to pitch. And this is one thing that I really want to encourage all our unicorns in our group to do, is that perhaps we could, and this is just thinking out loud is that we could just throw our pitch video onto, share it with everyone, and then have everyone have constructive criticism. I know I would love a lot of that, and I need it, and I want to keep myself in a pace where if I do the same thing over and over again, I would be better,
Yeah.
and that would be really useful.
For sure. Definitely.
Everyone, join us.
Yes, join us. Join the Unicorn Startup Club. Tell us what you're working on. Let us help you. What have been some of the challenges in this entire process with specific regards to JITA?
I think right now the major challenge is definitely learning the business. And when I say business, I mean learning about incubators, learning about accelerators, learning about the terms and terminologies of Silicon Valley-ish
Language.
Startup. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that yeah, I think that, and also just how things work. I think even coming up with a term sheet is foreign. Reading helps a lot. Podcast helps a lot. All these are relatively low investment but high ROI.
Right.
I highly recommend that. And then the next thing is just to get over, and coming from a very back, behind the camera kind of person, it was initially challenging to get in front of the camera, talk to people, talk to customers. I think if there's a lot of engineers out there, you're not alone. And then, yeah, but it's good. It's all very good. It's a learning process, not just about people and your business and your product, but also about yourself. You just keep on doing that and don't give up.
Yeah, one of the things that I've learned early on is that the more uncomfortable you are, the more it means that you're growing and learning. So I kind of, same thing like you. I used to not like being in front of the camera, but lo and behold, Instagram came up and everybody's doing selfies, and then I discovered Facebook Live, and it's just magical. But those are some really great challenges. I'm really happy to hear that you were able to kind of work through them.
Working through them.
Yeah, working through them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your next step, and how could we support you?
Currently, I would love to. We just went on one accelerator interview. We got into the second round. It was the first time. Actually, we've dumped up, I would say, about 25 to 30 sort of applications out. I imagine the numbers will be, maybe 1 out of 200.
Yeah.
But we were lucky enough to get into one second round. So we were pitching today. I think down the road, if you have any accelerator programs that you really believe in yourself, and you're an entrepreneur, send it my way. I would love to learn more about accelerators and why you love them. It's a little bit niche because given architecture, building, construction, it's not the most sort of technologically advanced world comparing to other areas. But if you know anyone that's looking for a company to invest in, and you know that they're interested in these type of innovations, I would love to talk to them and just network. I think if you know any good book, send it my way.
For sure. Yeah. I think with accelerators, so with my previous company, Moves, we were pitching an accelerator in, it was a up-and-coming metropolitan city that is not Chicago. And they said, well, if you get in, like, you'd have to move here. And I thought, I'm not going to move there. Like, maybe I'll commute. So yeah,
Is it moving in for good?
well, for the 3-month program.
Yeah.
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 So I mean, that's I know that you are settled down in New York.
I'm willing to move for the 3 months, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
We're open. It is, it is.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of programs out there. I'm not sure if open enrollment is still, you know, if it's still open. But I think that there were some people that reached out to me. I'll have to scan through my email.
Thanks.
Yeah, I personally
Thank you
decided
so
that
much.
I did not want to move. I'm not sure if you caught it, but I'm in Huntington Beach. So I'm really liking it here.
You're good.
I am very good.
You're good.
Yeah. So another tip that I found to be really great. So with my company, I hope you don't mind that I'm sharing this.
No,
Our
not at all.
company is completely friends and family funded. So we didn't go to any institutional money. We did it for a variety of reasons, but you know, after we kind of exhausted our friends and family, we're like, okay, we're not quite ready for institutional money. So we started looking on LinkedIn for experts and entrepreneurs in our space. And maybe it wasn't the exact space, so maybe they were adjacent to us that might be able to offer insight or open doors. And, you know, it was just a conversation. And so we had actually connected with this really, really great guy who actually runs an accelerator program. He was launching it while we were talking. And he was in the freight logistics, and we were in the moving logistics.
Oh, interesting.
So we talked to him. It wasn't a fit, but he gave us a lot of great feedback, opened a couple of doors, you know, so you never know. LinkedIn.
And you were able to bootstrap.
Yeah, we bootstrapped it. So LinkedIn is a really great place to look at, you know, specific people.
I totally second that. And it's been just, I can't say more. It's like, it's a blessing that all these resources is out there for free, and that you could reach to them directly, like firsthand. And that's hasn't been the case before. We did have some, excuse me, some actually clients that came in that we did design for and with now, that is continuing. What is really interesting, and I just want to share it with your audience, is that once you reach out, and it almost doesn't matter. It matters, but it doesn't really matter whether they're really that close with your industry. All you have to do is just send all your invites out, and just be shameless about it. Just add everyone that you find interesting.
Absolutely.
And then when people see that you are interested in them, they would lend you their ear or their insight or what. Yeah, and I think attention has been such a scarce resource nowadays. But attention is something that you could give as an entrepreneur to these people that you want to learn from.
For sure.
So,
for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pause right here and say, if you have any questions for Polley, in terms of her background as a developer or building her MVP, or how she came up with this and why she fell in love with interior design, now is the time to ask your question. So Chaim had asked a question earlier. Thanks for being patient. His question was, who is the final customer? Are they contractors or homeowners? But anyways, anybody else has a question, type it in now so we could put it in the queue and Polley can answer them.
Yes. So quickly answering that question, right now, I would say 40% of our focus group people that uses our product are designers. 20% is architects, and then 20% is homeowners. And then I would say a little bit of everything else that could be, they're like not even falling into the architecture. They're just curious. So right now, designers are the most, and mostly because we're designers ourselves, and whatever we build for ourselves tend to be really useful for them.
Okay. So I guess that begs the question: Do you charge the contractors, the designers, or the homeowners? Do you charge everybody, or is it just one of the group?
We do charge them, and this is interesting. The way we work with them is, but I think right now it's sort of not settled yet. Currently, we still charge them, but it's a lot like a design fee, because
Okay.
we are doing design work for them.
Right.
And what we have realized that the design fee actually wasn't lowered that much. I think eventually it'll be maybe 1/3 or even 1/4 of a market rate. Currently, we didn't lower it that much. It's like a normal design fee, but we were able to deliver within, on average, it's about 50% faster. So, which means, so it's basically, we spend half the time. And what we realize, and this is sort of like behind the scene for your audience only, is that we were able to complete all the work in 1/3 the time.
Wow.
But be able to use that extra time to do QA, quality assurance. So we're really treating it with the sort of the method of a software program, but doing design work, trying to create a new and hopefully better loop of production in design.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I really love it. I love it anytime brings in technology to an antiquated system. It's, it's
I'm gonna get
it's
kicked
the
by that
future.
term.
I mean,
yeah,
the future.
No, I
the
love
internet is
everyone
here.
in our industry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But the future
But
is here, and you can, you can incorporate a lot. So today you have your mobile app, you have your platform. Tomorrow maybe you could put in AR, VR stuff, just help move that project along faster.
One thing that sort of behind the scene, what we're trying to do is, and I promise that it's not going to be too long, is that we're trying to detach user interface with software, if that makes any sense. We're trying to, so all the software that we've been using in order to create 3D models, floor plans, and everything, and even communicate the design, we want it to be a user interface. So, 3ds Max, Revit, AutoCAD, even VR, we treat it as a user interface only. We separate the data layer and into a different entity, into the cloud, and manage that very, very well.
Wow.
So that now you could use your mobile phone, whatever device, whatever software, it doesn't matter. We're pulling out the metadata and feeding it. If you're a project manager, then maybe numbers means more to you. You could feed that metadata into Excel program and do your calculation. And so we save that sort of the layout layer or the presentation layer into that. So that sort of hopefully will create a better scalable platform.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's very smart. Very smart. Data is definitely money. And
yes.
Yeah, Haim has been really active. So I want to do a shout out to Haim. Haim, am I saying your name right? Because if I didn't know how to say it, I'd say Chame. Sorry.
Chame.
But he has been really active.
Yes.
So he says if you join both extremes of the business, and you can gather the data, you will have a real blast. And he is right. And I did say his name right. The C is silent. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for validating that for me. Cool. So I don't know if anybody else has any other questions. I'm going to pause here. Well, I guess I have another question. So I'm just going to keep firing away. So what do you do for fun, girl?
Well, I always like a bottle of wine, as I have here in the car. And then we all, I like recently I got a motorcycle license, so
Yes.
I'm looking forward. So I'm looking forward to do some motorcycle rides. I think one of the things that I really want to do before I die is to cross country and hopefully cross the world on a motorcycle. Um, and then skydiving. That's what I want to do, but I haven't got a chance to do that yet. But and then other than that, I just want to sleep. Yeah.
There's the most truthful answer I've ever received. Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Same. Same.
Yeah.
So what kind of motorcycle are you looking into? So I'm 5'1".
Definitely cruiser. Yeah.
What?
Go.
No, I'm 5'1",
cruiser.
so I'm short. So I'm always intimidated by, like the sports bikes. But yeah, a cruiser. I think I've been on a Shadow. A what?
A Scout. Indian Scout.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that they are able to do. And Indian Scout, if you hear this is like, I'm free advertising you. You're able to shorten both the handle and your what do you call it, where you switch gears, both the seat, the handle, as well as the gear changing thing, the front pedals.
Yeah.
So you could shorten all three things. And then for me, I'm in 4'11". So I'm like,
even shorter than I am.
Yeah,
oh my
I'm
gosh.
like this. Yeah. Anyway, it was a miracle that I passed passed the course. But anyway, so it was great. I tried it on. It was really comfortable. And once you get the shortened seat, it actually pulls you up a little bit. The seat is just less flat. It like scooches you up a little, so that you have support, a sort of a mini back support. That actually helps a great deal.
Wow, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yay. Oh, if anyone here also rides motorcycle, and if you're a woman,
yes,
maybe we should have a club.
Yeah. Well, if you ever come down here in Southern California, you can rent one and we can ride up and down the coast.
Deal.
So you got water on one side and then you got land on the other. Like you're right there. The water is right there. Yeah. That would be really cool.
See, that's the relax that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yep.
Well, cool. I don't see any other questions. Any last minute, last chance questions? Let's see. So you and I are both admins for the Unicorn Startup Club, and this is really our first week of doing it, my first week. And I, came up with this idea of doing Scrum. I don't know if I will be doing it every day or maybe every other day. But you had mentioned that there was something that you wanted to do as well.
Yeah, I thought that we could share each other's pitch deck. Not deck, but pitch video. And I think the point really is to train people that are not familiar with public speaking to sort of sculpt and then also, every time you talk about it, you'll see that people get it or people don't. Like people are just confused. Then you'll see like, why are you confused? No, this is what I meant. Then you'll be able to rephrase that in a better way. And so hopefully in 3 minutes, you're able to get your money.
Yeah, I think that would actually be a really great idea. We could post the video, and if you could do like a little screen share down here, then people can kind of follow. I think it's really important. It's more important, in my opinion, to for us to kind of look at your facial expressions. Are you sweating? Are you holding your breath? Are you saying more so than the actual deck itself. So I think, with that, we can give you live feedback. I think that's a really great idea. Yeah.
Video is king nowadays. So if we create enough, I think that would be magical. Imagine like if we as a community have hundreds of videos like this.
Yeah.
And then you see it all on a grid. That's like the best thing in the world.
Yeah. I mean, when we did that at TechSparks we called it the Informal Pitch Fest.
I like that.
yeah, we would time people, and the minute they open their mouth, even if they say the clock starts.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's real life.
Yeah, it's real
Your
life. I mean,
is worth $20,000.
it is. I mean, we'd have people come and it's their first time public speaking, and they would, they would get stage fright, and we would say, okay, time out. Let's take a deep breath. Let's start this over again. You get one more chance, but the clock goes. And, so, I mean, it's twofold: practicing it in front of an audience, which we can do in our Unicorn Startup Club. And then two, getting feedback on the business model, the product, the value propositions. Are you solving a problem? Maybe there's somebody that could provide some industry advice from a different point of view. I really like that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And then I know I talked to you this.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I know that I talked to you privately about this, but I'm just going to put it out there so that everyone knows about this, is that at some point I'm going to interview you in your story, your product, and then like just doing what you're doing with me now. And I think that's like I'm curious because we just met, and this has proven it to be a really great friendship, and just oddly just it's like it was meant to be. And then
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. When the time comes.
Cool.
Yeah. We have a list of speakers. Where is that document? We are currently booked through September 14th. Actually, no, I have an opening. I might be able to do August 31st. All right. I'm going to schedule myself.
Okay.
And I'll give you access to this document too. Cool. Well, this was a lot of fun. So, audience, if you found this interview helpful, please put #helpful so that we know that we're doing a really great job. Polley and I have just been talking, and some of you have been posting comments. If you would like to see more of these, or if you have somebody that you'd like to recommend that we reach out to for an interview, please let us know. Put it in the comments. Like it, share it, love it. Just spread the word. We want to get entrepreneurship out there and really encourage other people to kind of take a chance in pursuing their passion. So I think that's it. I'm going to wrap up. Polley, do you have any last minute things you'd like to say?
My last word is to not give up, and when you grow, lift people up, and yes, that.
Yes. Wow. Yes, I agree. Yep. Well, I'm here for you, girl.
Same.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, and have a really great weekend. Enjoy that bottle of wine. I will do the same. Actually, no, it's the U.S. Van surf competition here, which ends on Sunday. So I will be down at the beach that way. Maybe I'll take some video of that. But have a really great weekend, and so nice to finally talk to you live. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.